Okay, real quick. If your bank account only refills once a month from one single source, you are one phone call away from broke. One, we're letting you go. One client who ghosts. One algorithm update. That's it. That's all it takes. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying it because most people find this out the hard way, usually at the worst possible time. And I'd rather you hear it from me on a random Tuesday with nothing on the line. So today, we're fixing that. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how to build multiple income streams as a complete beginner. Even if you're broke right now, even if you have zero free time, and even if the only thing you've ever invested in is a phone you're still paying off. No fluff. No, just believe in yourself. Just the actual blueprint. Let's get into it. Picture someone 2 years into their first real job. The kind of person who gets to the office before the lights are even on, who's first to volunteer for the project nobody wants, who genuinely believes that if you just work hard enough, you're untouchable. Everyone at the office loves them. The boss calls them the reliable one. And for years, that feels like enough. Until the company does a restructuring. You know the word. The corporate way of saying, we don't need you anymore, but we'll smile while we say it. The job ends on a Friday. By Monday, 15 applications are already out. By the following Friday, silence. 2 months later, still silence. Savings that felt huge with a salary coming in suddenly feel like a countdown clock. Here's the part that actually matters, though. None of that happened because of laziness or bad money habits. Everything was done right. The problem wasn't effort. The problem was structure. One income, one employer, one point of failure. That's not a financial plan, that's a financial gamble. And most people are playing it without even realizing they're at the table. So let's talk about what actually fixes this. Because build multiple income streams sounds like one of those phrases rich people say on podcasts while sipping something expensive and pretending it's simple. It's not complicated, though. It's just unfamiliar. And unfamiliar feels hard until you've done it once. Here's the first thing you need to understand. And honestly, this is the part most beginners skip. There are different types of income, and they are not all created equal. First one, active income. You already know this one intimately, because it's the one that just collapsed on our someone from earlier. Trade your time, get paid. Stop trading, stop getting paid. That's your job. Freelancing, driving, tutoring, doing hair, fixing phones. Simple as that. Second one's barely different. Side income. Same time for money trade, just running on a second track. A weekend hustle, a skill you sell on the side, separate from your main job. Still not the golden ticket, but now you've got a second engine instead of just one. Now here's where it gets interesting. Investment income. This one grows because you parked money somewhere smart, not because you showed up. Stocks, dividends, interest, real estate appreciation. Slow to start, but it doesn't care if you're tired. Then there's the one everyone wants but skips past too fast to actually build. Passive income. You build it once, it keeps paying you on the days you do nothing. Royalties, digital products, content that earns long after you made it. And the last one, the one almost nobody beginner level ever touches, ownership income. You don't even need to be involved because you've built systems or hired people or automated the boring parts. Most beginners only ever experience the first one, and then they wonder why they feel stuck, even when they're working hard. You can't out-hustle a single point of failure. You have to diversify it. Now here's where people usually mess this up, so pay attention. They hear multiple income streams and they go start 5 things at once. A YouTube channel, a clothing brand, crypto trading, an Amazon store, and a side hustle reselling shoes, all in the same month. 3 weeks later, they're exhausted, broke, and convinced this whole thing was a scam. That's not diversification. That's chaos wearing a business suit. The real method is sequential, not simultaneous. You stack income streams one at a time, in a specific order, based on what stage you're in. Let me break that down properly. Stage 1 is foundation. If you've got zero savings and no stable income, your only job is steadying stream number 1. That's it, nothing else. This is exactly the stage our someone from earlier had to crawl back through, and it's boring on purpose. Boring and solvent beats exciting and broke, every time. Stage 2 is where it gets a little more fun. Side income. Same skills you already have, just pointed somewhere new in your free time. This is the freelancing in the evening stage. Selling a service locally. Tutoring something you're already good at. The point isn't the money yet. It's proving to yourself you can earn outside the job. Stage 3 is the leverage stage. Now you start building things that don't need your constant time. This is where content, digital products, or small systems come in. A simple digital guide, an online course, a YouTube channel like this one that earns from views even on days you don't film. This is the first real taste of passive income, and it usually starts small, like embarrassingly small, before it starts compounding. Stage 4 is the investment stage. Once you have consistent income from multiple sources, you start directing a portion of it into appreciating assets. Stocks, index funds, real estate, anything that grows in value over time without requiring your daily labor. This is the slow, boring, unsexy stage that eventually makes you wealthy, while everyone else is still chasing the next shiny side hustle. Stage 5 is the ownership stage. This is where you stop trading time for money almost entirely, because you own businesses, assets, or systems that run with or without you. Most people will never get here, not because it's impossible, but because they quit at stage 2, when things get repetitive and the results feel slow. Now let's talk about which income streams actually make sense for a beginner, because not everything is right for someone starting from zero. So which one's actually you? Got more time than money right now? Content creation is probably your fastest in. Pick one platform, pick one topic you won't get bored of in a year, and post like it's a job. The money won't show up in week 1, and honestly, it might not show up in month 1 either. But content compounds. Every video you make is an asset that keeps working after you've moved on to the next one. Already got a skill but no audience yet? Freelancing is your fastest entry point. Writing, design, editing, coding, voiceover work, whatever you're already decent at. The advantage here is speed. You can get your first paying client this week if you actually try, not in 6 months. Got a little bit of capital sitting around, even a small amount? Reselling or simple e-commerce can work, but be careful here. This is the stream most beginners romanticize and lose money on, because they treat it like a lottery ticket instead of a business. Start small, test demand. Don't gamble your rent money on inventory you haven't validated. Are you actually patient and disciplined? And I mean actually disciplined, not I'll start Monday disciplined. Then consistent investing, even small amounts, builds a stream that nobody can fire you from. This won't feel exciting. It's not supposed to. Boring and consistent is the entire point. Now here's something almost nobody tells beginners, and it might be the most important part of this whole video. Your first income stream doesn't need to make you rich. It needs to teach you something. The lesson matters more than the money, especially early on. Remember that someone who used to be first in, last out, the one who did everything right and still ended up with an empty inbox for 2 months straight? They rebuilt, not by landing another single job to depend on, by stacking small things, on purpose, one at a time, freelancing in the evenings while job hunting. That turned into a few regular clients. Those clients turned into referrals. The referrals eventually turned into a small service business with people working under them. It didn't happen in a month. It took close to 2 years. But the entire shift started with one decision: never let income depend on a single source again. That's the real takeaway here. This isn't about getting rich quickly. It's about never being one decision away from someone else controlling your life completely. So if you're watching this and thinking, okay, but where do I actually start? Here's the whole thing. Fast. Stabilize first, stack second, build leverage third, invest what's left over. In that order, never out of order. 5 things at once isn't ambition. It's just 5 ways to burn out simultaneously. Multiple income streams isn't a trend, and it's definitely not a shortcut. It's just basic risk management for your entire life. 1 source of income is fragile. 2 is stability. 3 or more, built the right way, is actual freedom. If this gave you some clarity, or even just made you rethink how you're set up financially right now, do me a favor and subscribe, because this channel is entirely built around turning ideas like this into real, practical income step by step without the fluff. I'll see you in the next one.